What's the state of your website? If you're looking for a new digital experience platform, or DXP, to run your digital experiences, I have the book for you. The Agile Brand Guide to Digital Experience Platforms is part of my best-selling series of MarTech books. In this book, I explore and demystify DXPs and look at the roles a digital experience platform should play, the different types on the market, as well as how to initially evaluate platforms, then how to best implement a DXP once you've selected it. The book also features a foreword from Rupali Jain, Chief Product Officer at leading DXP provider Optimizely, as well as several other thought leaders in the industry. Learn more and get a copy in print or digital now by going to the Agile Brand Guide website at www.agilebrandguide.com.
Hi, this is Greg. Look for my book, The Agile Brand, on Amazon or on my website at theagile.world. Welcome back to the Agile World podcast. This is Greg Kihlstrom. In the last episode, I talked about one of the reasons why we brand. It's for differentiation and competitive advantage. Today, I'm going to talk about how creating a great brand creates value for the organization in and of itself. One way this is done is in the franchise world. I did a fair amount of work for a franchise organization over the years, and learning a fair amount about that business, there's several different components to it. There's the franchisor, which is a company like a 7-Eleven or a McDonald's, something like that needs to create value and is really looking for franchisees, which are small business owners essentially, which need to make a decision. Do they create their own company from scratch? Do they create their own brand? Build all of that, put a lot of time, put a lot of equity into their own custom brand, or do they adopt an existing brand? When they adopt an existing brand, there must be a reason why, right? It's because that franchisor, that large company with lots of different locations all around the country, the world, the region, they've put a lot of time and effort into building equity in that name and that logo. So again, when you're driving down the street and you see a recognizable name, you go there. You might go to a 7-Eleven over an unknown convenience store because you've seen it. You know what to expect. All of that is equity in a brand. All of that is really based on a lot of things. It's based on that consistency of the brand. It's based on a consistent customer experience. It's built sometimes on longevity, just being known and being seen over time. Another way to look at it outside of the franchise world is in things like merchandise. So, for instance, a friend of mine from college actually collects Coca-Cola memorabilia. So this is stuff from, I don't know exactly how long Coca-Cola has been around, but let's say over a century. There's a lot of different items and memorabilia over the years. So Coca-Cola, they don't necessarily benefit from someone selling something at an antique store, but there's certainly a lot of recreations of things. You will see people with Coca-Cola t-shirts and merchandise and so on and so forth. Creating a great brand means that people are willing to walk around with it on their clothing. They're willing to basically become a walking billboard for you. That's a value that is not directly tied to, in the case of Coca-Cola, it's not directly tied to selling soft drinks, but it is raising your profile. It's getting your name out there in a way that your customers are actually working for you. I think this is a way that a great brand builds upon itself, creates its own kind of value. And the other benefit there, kind of the network effect, if you will, of that is not only are people walking around as walking billboards, as I said, but you're keeping your brand front and center in other people's minds. To continue with the Coca-Cola analogy, someone might be thirsty and seeing that logo on a t-shirt, on a bag, on something is just that impetus for them to take that step and actually purchase your product. Or it simply keeps you top of mind and front and center in their mind so that when they are, that other person passing someone on the street has that in their minds. It creates that network effect where, your brand is really working for you in multiple ways. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about another reason why we brand: expectation setting for customers. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please rate the show on iTunes or contact me through my website at theagile.world. You can find my books, The Agile Brand and The Agile Web, on Amazon and on my website at theagile.world.